Hey guys, doing this little video because the PlayStation 2 is still broken. One of the switches that has to be taped down for the swap magic to work ended up jamming and breaking, so I have to get that fixed, and it's taking me a little while. So in the meantime, I decided to do this little, just like a little info, trivia, random stuff video. It's mostly going to be for the Japanese version because there's a couple of little localization differences I've mentioned in the video descriptions, but I don't think a lot of people usually take the time to read those, so I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of a summarized version of it. But first I'm just going to do like a various stuff I've noticed in the game, little trivia session. Let's see. First things, oh, and there are going to be spoilers for all of Twilight of the Spirits because at this point I've gotten the entire English version up. The game is really old, and yeah. If you haven't played it by now, you should. Or should have. Anyway, I guess I'll start with the references to the first three, and I haven't played the first three, but I've seen some of them. So I kind of know some things, but not, like, I don't catch all the references, but I do catch some. The fact that there's descriptions for the entire first game's cast on Krah Island, on the little stone monument things. Let's see, there's those. You can see Ark if you go to the what's it called? It's like a big junkyard. There's a TV you can inspect, and it'll flash on there for like a split second. You can see them on there. They mention a couple of the characters if you talk to various NPCs throughout the course of the game, which I think I forgot to do on my English run-through. I tried to talk to the important ones, but I can't always remember which ones. And what else? There's a music box in the library in that one place that plays the ending theme for the third game. What else have I covered? Oh, the secret characters, of course, were from the first two games. Troko from the first, and I think she's been in all of the games, actually, and Ipex from the second game. And, of course, getting into the whole boss thing. The boss has been the same since the first game, up through the fourth, and I kind of don't count the fifth game anyway, because it's really bad and horrible, and ugh. If you haven't played End of Darkness, don't go anywhere near it. Let's see what else I've got. Oh, here it is. My list. Okay. Now for a couple of fun little things I've noticed so far. Ironically enough, I haven't gotten there, but I've seen the ending, the pre-boss cutscene, when Dark and Karg are doing their whole big, pre-boss rant thing, and Karg does this super cheesy line, and they're like, what was it, the whole, we're brothers, and he draws the swords, and they go to charge the boss and whatever. That line's actually done with both Dark and Karg in the Japanese version, and I did a video where I spliced the video and audio, so you can kind of hear it, but I'm looking forward to getting the actual Japanese version done. Because they honestly should have done that in the English version. That would have been hilarious to hear Dark doing that horribly, horribly cheesy line. What else? The localizations and the translations for different things. I'll start with the main characters' names. All of the main characters in Ark the Lad have something in common. Mostly in the English, they managed to keep it straight for the English version for the most part. Karg's the odd one out because of the fact that his name ended with a G, but I'll show you what I mean. Give me a second. Okay. Alright, so here we have all of the names of the main characters from the previous, from all of the games. We've got Ark, Elk, Alec, Dark, and Karg. They all end with, I guess a K or hard C or however the heck that's supposed to be. Oops. Said. Alright, so And then we've got the Japanese equivalents. Now you can kind of see what all the names have in common. We've got Aku, Eruku, Areku, Daku, and Kag. Because there's a trick you can, no, not really a trick, but the way the Japanese characters work is if they add these two little, like, dot things, I can't remember what they're called, next to a character, it changes the consonants, yeah. English, it eludes me. Ironically enough. The ku changes to a gu sound, basically. So that is what the main characters' names all have in common. Is basically they all end with the same general character in Japanese and mostly the same letter in English, save for Karg, because the whole trick they did in Japanese didn't quite translate over well to English. And these two are actually the official romanizations for the name. They're actually, if you see them in the English, or if you see them in English in the Japanese booklet, that's how they're spelled. Although some of the other ones are kind of hilarious. I guess I'll go into the other random name stuff. I don't know how well, I can't really see it. You've got Karg. Paulette is pretty much the same, Poretto, except they don't add the extra T and the O, or, I'm sorry, the extra, was it T and E? How do they, yeah, I think is what it is. They spell it differently in the English version, make it less awkward looking. Gans is pretty much the same. Ganzu. Maru. Maru. Yeah, pretty. Oh, Tatiana is in the book. She's over here, because, yeah. They don't have the 5th characters in the parties that show up. So Bebedor is actually not in the booklet, but Tatiana is. Her name's pretty much Tatiana. So yeah, pretty darn close to the English version as well, and I think it's spelled with an I, where they just take that out and some other stuff. Yeah, gotta love Japanese in their random use of English. Okay, Dark, Deruma, man, freaking Camellia. Her Japanese name's actually pronounced Katoria, and they wrote it in English as like Kataga? Really, really weird. I can see why they changed it to Camellia for the English version. Volk's the same. Yeah, pretty much Volku. They even actually did the proper, you can't see, but they did the proper katakana to make it the V sound instead of the lazy way they do it and just write it like a B, and you're supposed to change it to a, yeah. Lydia. Yeah. That's the whole, you just have to remember to change the R sound to an L for English and you're set. Nafia is pretty much the same. Zev. Zev's actually pronounced Zap in Japanese. It's kind of hilarious. And it's spelled Z-A-P-F, because I know you can't read that. Yeah. I love some of the romanizations in this game where, for the Japanese version, were hilarious. You've got Darkham, which is, Dakam, or, yeah, Dakamu, something like that. Pretty close. Dragoza, Doguza, so Dogza, basically, is how his name is in Japanese. Samson, it's Shamsun, which is pretty darn close considering it's Japanese, but it's actually pronounced, or it's actually spelled Shamsun on the English thing. It's hilarious. And then Tatiana is, it's actually spelled more Tatiana, like, gotta love Japan in that. But yeah. Oh, wait, actually need to keep this open. Localizations are fun. And random English translations done by Japanese are also fun. Since we're getting into Deimos-y stuff, I'll go ahead and do the things for them. Now, Deimos is actually just purely they came up with that for the English version. The term for that's actually Mazoku. which I think I've accidentally written down a couple times in the video descriptions because it's a word I'm actually really familiar with. If you've ever watched the Slayers anime, yeah, well, subbed anyway, they'll call the monsters in there Mazoku. So it's a term I'm familiar with. The pronunciations are as follows. For Drakir, we have Doragozoku, Orkan Orokuzoku, Pianta is Piantazoku, and Lupine is Wurfazoku. The Zoku is just basically the kanji here at the end that means like a clan or a tribe. So you've basically got you know, Dorago, dragons, Oroku are based on Oni, Japanese traditional like demon ogre things. Pianta, of course, just plants, and then Lupine. It's funny, in the booklet it actually says they're based on dogs. So make of that what you will. Is there anything else? Besides maybe some general other translations from the English version you might hear. I'm going to go ahead and stick this back up here. Okay. Generally, let's see, what else? You'll see the word or hear seirei a lot. That's spirit. Let's see, I covered Mazoku. Ningen for humans. That's just a general term. Let's see. They like using nakama, which is the whole like friend companion thing. You see that a lot in anime. If you've ever watched anime, you've probably heard that term. Oji for prince, because yeah. Maho for magic, which I know from Magical Girl series. So yeah. The rest are just general words and stuff, but the big ones that you'll hear a lot in the cutscenes will be seirei and Mazoku, Ningen, for spirits, Deimos, and humans. And of course the various Deimos tribe names in Japanese. Let's see, what else? I'm getting past the 10-minute mark. Not that I have to worry about time limits anymore. Where'd my paper go? Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna go, because there's so many voice actors, I wanted to do something, you know, trivia-wise for the voice actors, but I just decided to pick one, the one for Dark, because he's actually a voice actor I've heard in a ton of other stuff, and he's one of my favorites, besides the fact that he does my favorite character in the game. Kenichi Suzumura is the one who does the voice for Dark in the Japanese version. He's done a ton of stuff. Like, I looked up his Wikipedia page. It's really freaking long. So I'm not going to go through them all, but the ones that I've personally heard, or from things I've watched or played, of course he does Dark. He's done Zack Fair from Final Fantasy VII. Anything, if you've ever heard him in the Japanese version of Advent Children, or happened across any of the Japanese versions of, he's in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Stuff like that. In the same vein, in Kingdom Hearts, he does Demyx, the water nobody dude with the giant sitars, who annoys the crap out of me with his water dance crap. And, well, in the English version, it's different in the Japanese, but I digress. He's done a ton of anime stuff. Let's see. Oh God, something older. Koichi from Digimon Frontier, which, yeah, I used to watch Digimon. I have no shame in admitting the fact that I watched Digimon. He voices Lavi in D. Gray Man, which I don't know if, I think the anime for that ended earlier than the series actually did. One of the more popular roles he did is Hikaru Hitachin. Yeah, Hikaru from Ouran High School Host Club. The one twin that wreaks all sorts of havoc and is generally hilarious and awesome. And then one of the things that most people don't watch, he actually does a voice for a character in Kamen Rider, which is a series I've kind of gotten slightly obsessed with over the years. I blame my friends at my local anime club for getting me into it. Basically, it's this live-action superhero show, kind of like Power Rangers, but not quite. But I digress. He does the voice for one of the main characters in a series called Kamen Rider Den-O, and it's kind of hilarious and awesome because his character's like this. Yeah. He's very childish and silly and awesome. And then, of course, he actually makes a appearance himself in a cameo in another. The next Kamen Rider has a movie, Kamen Rider Kiva, King of Hell's Castle. He makes a cameo because he did a voice in Den-O, and a lot of the Den-O cast make cameos there too. So you actually get to see what he looks like, and that's always fun. But yes, that is random trivia for random Arc the Lad stuff. My favorite voice actor for Dark, and pretty much any other random stuff you ever probably didn't need to know, but I told you anyway. I'm hoping to get the PS2 fixed soon, so hopefully I will get some stuff done. I'm really, really looking forward to getting into Dark Second Chapter, because there's a lot of really fun cutscenes in that one. But anyway, I'll see you guys, well, I'm not sure.